does he like me? Hi, I'm Jay Diamond, dating and love coach. I help purpose driven women who are 35 plus to clear deep, energetic love blocks so that they can triple their dating confidence, ignite their feminine power, and naturally attract and keep their soulmate. So, conversation in our community with all of the ladies who've been following me for a while. Sometimes we'll talk about, does he like me? What are the signs that somebody likes you? There are the obvious things. We know when someone, walks up to us and asks for a number or says, "You're so beautiful, I want to get to know you better." It's so clear, right? But what about when someone's a friend of a friend? You keep kind of bumping into each other. It feels like there is a bit of a vibe, but you're not sure, or you work together as colleagues and you don't want to overstep a line with someone and you kind of don't want to mess up a friendship, but it feels like there could be something more, and you're like, well, he keeps doing this and this. Does he like me? Is he just being friendly? Like, often, ladies will say, is he just being polite? I can't tell the difference, if he's just being a polite person and he's genuinely helpful, or if he does actually like me and is interested in me. So here's a couple of ways that you can find out whether there's actually something more under the surface and he actually has got a crush on you. One of the big signs is how long he maintains eye contact. Of course, this isn't for everyone. Some guys are actually, obviously, all of us are shy in some aspects. And so when a guy's really shy, he may look away more. Like, but what you'll find is you'll catch him looking at you when you're not looking. So if a guy's more confident, you'll find there's a lot more eye contact, and you'll hold eye contact for longer. Like sometimes it can just be that 1 second, that 2 seconds longer than you would when you were having a conversation with someone else. And like in nature, like, this is what creates this feeling of, okay, there's some interest here, there's something happening here. He might talk to you in a way that's more animated. It's not just this like, we're doing this about business, we're having this conversation, this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end, and that's it. He looks to you, he looks away, it's all very formal. However, when someone's more interested in you, they can talk about the same things, but the energy will feel different. The eye contact will be longer. There might be more kind of pauses. They might stand closer to you, like just that bit closer than a work colleague normally would. Then, you feel a bit of a vibe in that situation. So look out for the eye contact. And like I said, with someone who is really into you, even if they're shy and they're not feeling comfortable to kind of hold this eye contact while you're stood in front of them because they get too nervous, you very might well catch them looking at you from the side. So as you're doing whatever you're doing, you can feel them looking at you. Turn around, they'll probably turn away. But because we've all visual, men in particular are visual creatures, and we all love to look at things. Like when you see a hot guy, you sneak in the look. You're like, what's he doing now? Of course, if you're in an office, you can't be so obvious, so you might find that this guy is walking past where you are, so we can catch a look at your beautiful face. So watch out for that. The second piece is that a guy who likes you will often try and keep the conversation going just that bit longer. Like, they want to get to know you better. They want to spend more time with you. They don't want to kind of come away from you, So they'll it'll kind of come to the natural end of a conversation, and then they'll suddenly come up with something else. And because it's spontaneous, it could be just something completely ridiculous. What did you have for dinner last night? Or like, I don't know. I like your teeth. Like, what are you talking about? And they might just blurt out something completely ridiculous just to keep you talking. Or suddenly they start talking about the weather and you think, why is this guy always talking about the weather? Like, because he wants to have a conversation with you and he's not quite sure what to say or how to say it, but he just wants to be around you, he just wants to connect with you. So guys who like you will generally try and keep you talking longer. So if you're like having a date or before, um, maybe you're having a telephone conversation or a Zoom chat before you actually go on a physical date, they'll keep trying to keep the conversation going, find out more about you. They'll ask more questions about you and who you are and what you're about, not just what you're doing this weekend, but you'll find that also the quality of the conversation, they'll want to know about maybe your past or your parents or like where you went to university or that kind of thing. They'll be interested in some of the details about who you are, um, as well. What else? I mean, physical body space is a really good indicator that someone likes you. They stand, we all have this field of what we feel comfortable or don't feel comfortable. We kind of tend to have a bit of a distance between ourselves and others in conversations. Now, depending on your culture and your background, and from country to country, this can absolutely be different. However, a guy who likes you, you might find that he wants to show you something on his phone. He'll be like, oh, I found this thing. Let me show you, and he'll use that as a way to get physically close to you, to draw, and also to kind of gauge your reaction. That if he leans in and shows you, oh, look at this, and whatever it is, ridiculous thing he's pretending to show you, he wants to gauge how will you react to that. Because if you're repellent by him, you're probably gonna be like, oh, okay, you're gonna move back, and maybe even, your body might be stiff if you felt really uncomfortable around someone. Let's say a stranger off the street who smelled a bit. You wouldn't be leaning in, going, "Oh, really?" and tell me more, and kind of getting a bit close and resting your head on his on his muscles. Or is that just me? No. So if your body language kind of stiffens up, then he's gonna know, okay, she's not really into me, and so that's kind of a way for him to find out as well if you're interested in him. What else do we have? A guy likes you often try and find a way to kind of sneak in a casual touch, maybe of the hand, often. So, sometimes I'll wear different jewelry. They might say, oh, that's a nice bracelet. So they get a chance to kind of touch your hand. Again, it's like this, we're attracted to what we're attracted to. We want to be near. So there's the thing about this physical contact, and also, how will she react? Is it mutual? Will she lean in if I lean in? And so you'll find he might compliment, maybe your dress, or, I mean, I don't think I would like it if somebody started stroking my hair. I like your hair. Although I have had on dates in the past men ask, can I touch your hair? I'm like, no, you can't touch your hair. Don't know where your handsome thing. No, please don't touch my hair. But we want to be near what we find beautiful, don't we? What else? What else? What else? One of the biggest things that you'll find with a guy who likes you, right, is you won't be confused and wondering all the time, is he into me? Like, after the first little, let's say you're dating someone, he's not going to be the kind of guy who leaves you on read. He's not always going to wait for you to text. You're not going to wait for like a week and a half between you hearing from him. The guy likes you is much more consistent. A masculine man's natural nature is to hunt when he wants something. So if you're what he wants, he's going to go for that, and you're going to know about it. He'll look at you, he'll talk to you, he will message you, he will make plans. You know, the guy will make plans. I'd like to take you here. What do you think about going for a drink at this place? Or would you like to come hiking with me? You know, he'll want to have experiences with you as well. He'll want to take you places and do things together, and he will be more than happy to make the plans. And this is one of the big things when a guy is into you and he kind of is starting to see you being part of his life. He's more than happy to take the lead and to make plans, and because he wants to impress you as well. He wants to impress you. In my Cherished program, where I teach you the vibe dating method to magnetize your dream man, we do talk a little bit about that. In the beginning stages, sometimes a guy wants to impress you because he wants to impress himself. What does that mean? It means that he wants your reaction. He wants you to tell him he's fabulous. So in the beginning, he'll make all the effort. But if that continues and it doesn't drop off and he continues to be consistent, you know, he responds well, he texts first, he calls you, he makes plans. This is a really, really good sign that he likes you, he's open, he's ready, he's available. You know, so paired with the other things in the beginning, these are really good indicators that, you know, a guy is into you. So I hope that is helpful. I'd love to hear in the comments, like, what things have you found, like maybe with the guy that you're with now or someone in the past, that were indicators of them liking you, and what are the things that put you off? I'd really love to hear that as well. Okay, I'll speak to you soon.